All right, let's do Ask Annex. In the studios, Matt Morzy, Director of Research and a CFP. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Danny.
Fred Coleman is a CFP and a wealth manager. Welcome to you.
Thanks, Danny.
First question on Ask Annex. Hey, guys, Ask Annex is awesome. I also have a know-it-all neighbor. In my case, he keeps telling me to allocate 5% of my investable assets to art. I've read this as a thing, but is it?
Great question. Thanks for the compliment on saying that Ask Annex is awesome. I actually went to a fine art studio last week, so, this is a pretty interesting timing with this question. And, I seen some Picasso paintings. I seen a Michael Jordan rookie card, Mickey Mantle card. All these are in that same kind of category of like hard to value, and they're all considered art. The first thing is there is no specific value to these things. It really depends on if there is a buyer on the other side. So you have to get these things appraised, and then there also that buyer has to be interested in that specific piece. The other thing to think about is these pieces of art, they're not liquid. You can't just go in and sell this art. You gotta find a buyer. So there's no rule of thumb as far as how much or what percentage you should have in your portfolio. It all depends on your situation. My view is that you shouldn't have anything in art that you need in order to make your financial plan successful. So that could be 5%, that could be 0%. For some people, you can have as much art as you want. So it really depends on your plan and understanding the risks that are associated with holding that fine art.
I think it's an interesting question. And when you're looking at it, like you said, it's a really hard market, right? It's not like the stock market where it's open, throughout the day. There's buyers and sellers all day long that are setting a price, or even, the market for your house, which is going to have, agents that you can go out, you can put your house on the market at any point. It is generally a pretty fluid process. Now, art's probably not that different from the home sale, but whether you're at an auction or you find a private buyer, it is, difficult to get in and out. And it's not meant to be a very liquid market, which is part of the appeal, is that you don't have the volatility there that you're going to have in different areas. Like you said, you went to a studio. I'm really curious what you picked up and brought home. Maybe that's a question for next week, but I think that's pretty interesting.
Have you seen his dogs playing poker? It's very good.
No. Those prices were out of my price range.
But outside of that, there are, ways that they're trying to make, I think, a lot of what you would call an alternative investment more accessible to people. For art, there's now apps that you can sign up for, websites that you can go to that instead of buying the picture outright, you can be part owner of something like that, where they're breaking it down essentially into fractional shares for it that allow people to gain more access to that type. But not only does that make it easier for you to do that, but the hard part is you still need to know, what is this actually worth? Like, what am I actually buying? And the fact that you're buying a piece of something that you don't actually technically have, you're not putting that up on your wall at home, or anything like that. So there's a lot of different parts to that are moving that you really need to make sure you understand before you get in. But 5%, that's a pretty high number.
Honest to God, when our boys were young, they would bring their projects home, and my wife would frame them and put them on the wall. I bet we could have put them at that studio, and people would have spent $5,000. You just never know.
Some of the things I seen at that studio, I'm like, how is this worth, $30, $40, $50,000? But, art, there's no price on it. It's all about what someone's willing to pay for it.
It's Ask Annex. Got a question? You head to our website, annexwealth.com. Look for the Ask tab. Next one. New job, new 401k. Hate all the available options. Thinking I should pick the best of the worst, get the match, and then invest outside that plan. Thoughts?
I think that's a great way of thinking about it. Very first, you want to make sure that you're getting that match. You're already getting, if it's a 1-for-1, you're getting 100% return right away on it. If it's a 50% match, obviously 50% return on it. So right away, that's really tough to beat. It's going to be really hard for you to not make up any investment returns. You might be able to get into something that's better after you get those rates of return right away. I would also look at it, most 401ks, if not all 401ks, should have something like a target date fund or some sort of pre-allocated investment for you. That's where I would go right away if you're going to look at something in-house. For clients that we work with, we can sit down, figure out what your risk tolerance is, help you pick out an allocation that's suitable for you, that makes sense for you. That's what I would do if I was a client of Annex. And that's something we do each and every single day. And our team here, helps pick those. If you're not a client of Annex, well, it's a good reason for you to come in and sit down and do that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, if the options aren't there, you don't like the target date funds, get the match, and then you could do something outside of it.
Absolutely. That's one of the benefits of having our investment team here. Some of the clients that I work with, or all of them, if they do have 401ks, we lean on the investment team a lot just to make sure you're getting the best of whatever you do have available for you to invest in. One of the other biggest benefits of 401k, not only the investment options, but there are tax benefits to a 401k, and then never underscore the benefit of the automated investing. That's one of the biggest benefits that you don't see because it comes right out of your check. But over time, that lump sum grows a lot.
Bougie Fred Coleman, CFP and a wealth manager. Thank you.
Thanks, Dad.
And Matt Morzy, Director of Research in the CFP. Thank you.
Thank you.